Hello everyone. Can we have a big cheer from everyone in the field at the moment, Tolpuddle? Come on, a big cheer. And can we have a big cheer from you specifically to the people across the world at home tuning in? Give them a big cheer. Because you're the very lucky people, the very select people that are here to watch. We wish there could be more people here this year, but obviously it's very restricted, we can't, but we all dearly hope that we'll be back to normal next year. Thanks to everyone that was on the march. That was really beautiful, as poignant as ever, despite the small numbers. We're on to our last musical act of the weekend. It's been an amazing programme of music. And it's going to be a brilliant way to finish off, to be honest. This next act, he's played everywhere. I've personally seen him, I can't remember how many times. Always different. We're all unique, aren't we? But this guy's a little bit more unique than the rest of us. Okay? He's played everywhere. He's been all over the world, all at every festival you can think of. And finally, he's here in what I think is the spiritual home at Tolpuddle Martyrs Festival. It's the amazing Beans on Toast.
What a lovely intro. I'll try and be as unique as possible, Kev. The world is full of wonderful people living meaningful lives, doing excellent things. In order to survive, every human is born with a big, kind heart, and the capacity to have it broken in half is burning, collapsing. We've all heard the news. When you wake up in the morning, what are you supposed to do? It hurts your head when you worry about it. So why not sit back and enjoy it regardless of the backdrop? It's your life that you're leading. You'll need a sense of humor and a sense of direction, a sense of smell and a sense of self. Listen to your heart, ignore everything else, because the world has always been wild and unpredictable. That's half the fun of it. Nobody has got a clue, but not everybody thinks we're doomed. Not everybody thinks we're doomed. There are beautiful words for everyday objects. Every day that you survive, you get a free sunset. Like it or not, you are along for the ride. But just because it is a game don't mean you have to choose a side. But of course you've got to concentrate, of course you've got to care. When the best course of action, celebrate or ignore. I could only imagine it will end at a party. Someone will fall in love, someone leave broken hearted. Regardless of the backdrop, it's your life that you're leading. Beware of virtues and other people's freedoms. Try not to tread on someone else's toes, and follow your nose, because the world has always been wild and unpredictable. That's half the fun of it. Nobody has got a clue, but not everybody thinks we're doomed. Not everybody thinks we're doomed. So get down if you're up for it, or if you're sick and tired of all of it. Maybe riddled with anxiety, but still excited about what you're having for tea. And for the sake of tomorrow, let's do it today. Okay. Because the world has always been wild and unpredictable. That's half the fun of it. Nobody has got a clue, but not everybody thinks we're doomed. Thank you very much. This is lovely, isn't it? I actually thought that I was playing I thought I'd been invited to come and play inside a museum today, which would have been lovely as well, but it's not as nice as actually being outside. I thought it was going to be two people and a camera inside a museum. So here looking at the rolling hills is beautiful. Sorry if I don't look at you as a crowd, but there's some trees over there that are seriously gagging for some tunes, so I'm going to sing to them. With that in mind, do you like trees, guys? You like trees? Yeah? We're in the right place. I'm going to sing a bunch of new songs today as well. So this is one of those. As honest as an apple from an apple tree, strong as an oak, as busy as a beach. I'll hold you like a weeping willow might hold you, with a scattering of seeds and a sudden flash of magnolia. Knock on wood, baby, wish me luck. I wish I was as useful as a coconut. Both the bed that I was born in and the coffin I'll be burnt in started their lives out as tiny little seeds, easy to forget and it's hard to believe. Oh, it's pretty as a peach, proud as a plum, the ambition of an acorn. I wanna get me some, swinging like a world champion conquer the secret life behind every door you've ever opened, from the treetop to beneath the floor. The handle of a hammer and the handle of a sword. The guitar that I am playing and the stage where I am standing started their lives out as tiny little seeds, easy to forget and it's hard to believe. Oh, oh, we build a world out of wood, fill our bellies on its fruit. We cut them down faster than we plant them. But there is still a path through the forest to your heart today. A little drumstick somewhere tapping out the rhythm. Can you hear them? Are you listening? Thank you. So hopefully you're not expecting me to pass any comment on the world today, because there's just too many opinions about what's going to happen tomorrow floating around for me to stick my oar in. So I'll just leave you to make your own decisions about that. I'll just sing songs about celebrating the things that we can still celebrate instead. How about that? This is, with that in mind, this is what used to be referred to as the happiest Beans on Toast song ever. Now it's the happiest Beans on Toast song so far. We're watching the world go by. Well, today feels like a Bob Marley song. I got the afternoon off, there's nothing going on. My head is in the clouds and the sun is in the sky, watching the world go by. And you have to admit that it looks fantastic. There's so many reasons to be optimistic. Savoring the moment of just being alive, watching the world go by. But this is not a competition, it isn't a race. I got a spring in my step and a smile on my face, a head full of hopes and a handful of dreams, a heart so full that it's bursting at the seams, and I'm watching the world go by. I might drink a little wine, I might smoke a little weed, go down to the river and see where it leads. There's no such thing as killing time or watching the world go by. And it feels so good just to unplug. You know, sometimes it's best to just turn that shit off and marvel at the movement of a butterfly, watching the world go by. But this is not a competition, it isn't a race. I got a spring in my step and a smile on my face, a head full of hopes and a handful of dreams, a heart so full that it's bursting at the seams, and I'm watching the world go by. Thank you very much. So if I'm completely honest with you, I wasn't aware of the Tolpuddle until the Tolpuddle Martyrs until I was invited to play the festival. I did a kind of, I was invited to play, I guess 2 years ago, whenever the last one was supposed to happen that didn't. But I did, you know, I've read up on it as much as I can, and I came down to the march today, and I don't know if you believe in omens or anything like that, but on my way to the march I actually saw lined up in a little row with 6 white doves just stood there looking like they was waiting for the march to, the sort of procession to pass by, which personally I thought was beautiful. So that's what I've taken from it. There's a certain magic here. And I guess this song, this is a new song, I guess this kind of chimes in relation to the kind of activism that they sort of started off. It's a song about the land ownership of England. It's called The Commons, and it's based on a book by a guy called Nick Hayes called The Book of Trespass. I don't know if anybody's read that book. I learned more about England from that book than 40 years of living here, basically. So it's called The Commons. Well, if you don't take down this fence, I'll hop over it anyway. I've done some reading, and things don't have to be this way. You're worried I might climb the wall and stumble across your family tree. I bet you there's some roots down there you don't want me to see. Because your ancestors, they stole this land, fenced it off in a power grab, and ripped it from beneath the feet of the folks who used to dwell on it. Drilled it into the consciousness for a couple of 100 years, and now it's so ingrained that no one even questions it. Who can go where? Who owns what? And how much land have you got? Because we're craving bird song and a lonely sunrise, an ancient tree and wildflowers in the summertime, swimming in the lake, sleeping beneath the stars. These simple things, they are inherently ours. When one man owns 15,000 acres, well, that doesn't sound fair to the common folk of England. Class, money, power and land ownership. Who gets to decide what's in the national interest? This is more than just a fence around the countryside. By fencing off the commons, they're fencing off our minds, and we're only given access to a smidgen of our rivers, and we're going stir crazy in the towns and the cities, knowing nature could fill that hole. We just need the right to roam. Oh, we just want to walk the land, treat it like common ground. We want to feel at home and welcome in nature. Stop saying that the country's full and hiding it behind a wall. Well, anyone who crosses gets labelled a trespasser. Who can go where? Who owns what? And how much land have you got? Because we're craving bird song and a lonely sunrise, an ancient tree and wildflowers in the summertime, swimming in the lake, sleeping beneath the stars. These simple things, they are inherently ours. When one man owns 50,000 acres, well, that doesn't sound fair to the common folk of England. And if you don't take down this fence, we'll hop over it anyway. We come in numbers, things don't have to be this way. Thank you. The kind of brutal facts in the Book of Trespass, is that we're only actually given access to 3% of the rivers of the country. Our rivers, 3%, 97% of the rivers in the country are on private land and completely out of bounds. You're not allowed to swim in them, you're not allowed to do anything. It's weird, isn't it? I didn't know that. I want more rivers in my life. Anybody else want more rivers in their life? Fuck yeah. Let's go get them. Let's go get them. I don't actually know how long I'm supposed to play for, but obviously longer than I have done. So I was going to keep on playing new ones. I literally, I was in Bolton last night, which is a long way away, but I played a gig in Bolton last night, and for the last 2 weeks I've been putting the finishing touches on my new album. And I had quite the magic moment in the Holiday Inn in Bolton when I pressed the final send button, and now my new album is sort of been sent to production. It's not out till December, but it also means I've just forgotten all of my old tunes. So this is a love song. It's a song called Let's Get Married Again. It doesn't start there either, it starts there. I love you more than words can say, more than birds can sing. I love you to the moon and back. I love you more than anything. The kind of love that makes you want to join in. Let's get married again. You may kiss the bride, yeah, more like she may kiss you. All the people that we know and love in the same room. Let's have a first dance for the second time. Make hay while the sun shines. Lay on a speech, and in my feast I'll say I love you more than words can say, more than birds can sing. I love you to the moon and back. I love you more than anything. The kind of love that makes you wanna fall in. Let's get married again. Oh, let's get married again. And imagine Ren the Awesome as our bridesmaid. She'll take full control of the situation and head straight for the cake. Champagne bottles and oyster shells. The piano plays you down the aisle, but I don't hear a sound till I say my vows. I say I love you more than words can say, more than birds can sing. I love you to the moon and back. I love you more than anything. The kind of love that makes you wanna fall in. Let's get married again. Oh, let's get married again. Because when institutions crumble, I hope a marriage still stands strong. Not just for me and you, for everyone. A simple exchange of a promise and a ring. Let's get married again. Thank you. So the music video for that song is going to be easy, and me and my wife are actually just going to have another wedding. We're just going to send out invites for everybody and just say, we're getting married again. Why not, eh? I mean, it's pricey, I guess, but I'm just going to spend the money I'd normally spend on a music video on having another wedding. So. Don't blame the immigrants, the poor, or the unemployed. These are not the ones who are to blame. The country's fucked, that's obvious, but a swan song of the NHS, where the flood warnings came long before the rains. And it's in these times of trouble that fascism rears its head, and the UK Independence Party are just the BNP in a different dress. They're still the same old homophobic racists as before. They're probably sending junk mail full of hate to your front door, and they got billboards on the high street telling you should be scared, 'cause these evil motherfuckers, they capitalize on your fear. But I'm not worried about the worries of the world anymore. I'm gonna get in the jacuzzi. I wish that everybody would just chill the fuck out and get busy being happy. We need a spiritual revolution. I believe you, Russell Brand. We need food and we need shelter, friends and family at hand. And apart from that, we don't need nothing except a whole lot of loving. Well, all the NASA think tanks think that we will fall just like the Romans did, and other civilizations before them that are now extinct. The well runs out, the fuel runs dry, there's not enough food to feed us all. Our leaders blindly lead us, claiming it's business as usual, while saving up the scraps for themselves till the shit falls off the shelves. Well, I'm not worried about the worries of the world anymore. I'm gonna get in the jacuzzi. I wish that everybody would just chill the fuck out and get busy being happy. We need a spiritual revolution. I believe you, Russell Brand. We need food and we need shelter, friends and family at hand. And apart from that, we don't need nothing except a whole lot of loving. Thank you very much. I'm going to sing an old song now. This is a song called Here at Homerton Hospital, and it's about the hospital where my daughter was born. And it kind of had during lockdown, it had a bit of a rebirth, if you'll excuse the pun. Six Music played it. They were doing like an NHS special on Six Music, and they played it, and it kind of, as you're fully aware, over lockdown, NHS staff finally sort of got recognised, you know, got given the attention that they've always deserved in my book. I mean, they're still not getting paid, right? But certainly the attention. So it was this old song kind of crept back up into the forefront, and well, I can remember the words, so I'm going to sing it. Shouldn't have said that I can remember the words before I started it, should I? Should have just started. Steve is from Basildon. He's a hospital porter. He starts his shift in the middle of the night. He rides into work on a motorbike. He doesn't talk much to the patients, but he gets them where they need to go. He gets on with all of his colleagues though, like that surgeon in the Templar ward who always says hello. Well, that surgeon is called Dan. He grew up in Gloucester. Ever since he was young, just wanted to help everyone. He was destined to be a doctor. He met his girlfriend Rena here at work. She's a physio. She was born in Egypt, a small town south of Cairo. She came to England as a teen with a busted knee, and when they fixed her up for free, she knew exactly what she wanted to be. So she learned the language and the bones and the muscles, and started real hard for the qualifications, and not long ago got her first placement here at Homerton Hospital. She eats her lunch with Jill from reception. Jill comes from Swindon via Jamaica. She's a Rastafarian. She works the desk at A&E. And you won't believe the things that she's seen, or the respect that she has for her team. Well, there's a paramedic from Portugal, a pharmacist from Senegal, a security guard from the Isle of Man, and a pediatrician from Pakistan. Faces from different places, religions and races, all working together under one roof. So many walks of life and background stories, all coming together for the sick and the poorly. Someone's operating and someone's giving birth. Someone's holding someone else's hand when they pass. They'll stitch you back together and they'll heal the wounds. It won't cost you anything at all. here at Homerton Hospital. There's an Orthodox Jew with Australian flu getting his blood pressure checked by a girl from Bangladesh. There's a kid from this state got himself into a state, and now a Polish nurse put his arm into a cast, and poor Uncle Terry slipped into a coma. Now he's being looked after by new love from Rwanda, and everyone makes jokes about the hospital food, but to tell you the truth, it's actually pretty good. And that's down to the chef who comes from Marrakesh, makes a killer shepherd's pie and feeds hundreds of patients every single night. Faces from different places, religions and races, all working together under one roof. So many walks of life and background stories, all coming together for the sick and the poorly. Someone's operating and someone's giving birth. Someone's holding someone else's hand when they pass. They'll stitch you back together and they'll heal the wounds. It won't cost you anything at all here at Homerton Hospital. If you worry how the world might work, I'll be in multicultural. Come and pay a visit to Homerton Hospital. Thank you very much. I'm going to sing a song about listening to music with my daughter, and this was written back when I could choose the music that we could listen to. Them days have long gone now. Now it's frozen. What I intend to do is sort of mix in the middle of this into Lost in the Woods, not the sound. I haven't worked that bit out just yet. But although at the same time, as much as she does put on sort of Disney classics, and if you ask her what her favourite band is, she says the Pogues. So something must have gone right. This is called The Album of the Day. When I'm lucky enough to have my daughter for the day, with no commitments getting in the way, might start with a trampoline, followed by sandwiches, and we'll run home, read a couple of books, and lay down for a little snooze, 'cause we don't need anybody getting in a mood. We've got big plans this afternoon, and you're the chorus of my song, the apple of my eye, the page in my book, and the moon in my sky. You know I wouldn't want it any other way than dancing with you to the album of the day. 'Cause that afternoon I put an hour aside, it's a musical education time. We put a classic album on and we listen to it back to front, or front to back, you know what I mean. The whole thing in its entirety, there'll be no rewind, no fast forward, exactly as its creator intended it. Oh, you're the chorus of my song, the apple of my eye, the page in my book, and the moon in my sky. You know I wouldn't want it any other way than dancing with you to the album of the day. We started with the White Album, Graceland by Paul Simon, Exodus, Bob Marley, 9 to 5, Dolly Parton, Closing Time, Blonde on Blonde, Odelay, Brothers in Arms, music for a jilted generation, Aretha Now, and London Calling. We try to avoid greatest hits because the real world comes with album tracks, hoping that something's seeping in and that the wonderful music is doing its thing. Oh, you're the chorus of my song, the apple of my eye, the page in my book, and the moon in my sky. You know I wouldn't want it any other way than dancing with you to the album of the day. Thank you. Oh, baby, sounds like the world has gone crazy, underpaid and overpopulated, burning from the inside out. And it's funny, some people think that violence is the answer, others profit from death and destruction. We're backed into a corner now, and you're lying. I'm not buying whatever you're selling. That's why all of the people are rebelling. You can no longer turn the volume down. The ship is sinking. I can tell that from the way you're standing. I wish that I could tell you what the plan is. I wish I had it all worked out. Oh well, you win some, lose some. Looks like we lost one. The whole wide world heading for the dustbin. Got a lot to say, we're easily offended. Got a lot to give, but we wouldn't recommend it. Give a lot to take, took a lot of chances. Fingers in our ears, our society collapses now. Oh, baby, I don't think we're ready for the changes or the inevitable train wreck everyone's predicting right now. In the future, all I see is chaos and disorder, intertwined with natural disasters, and people looking for an easy way out. Oh well, you win some, lose some. Looks like we lost one. The whole wide world heading for the dustbin. Got a lot to say, we're easily offended. Got a lot to give, but we wouldn't recommend it. Give a lot to take, took a lot of chances. Fingers in our ears, our society collapses now. Oh, baby, in the brink of extinction, in the age of anxiety, everywhere you look is another catastrophe. Carbon emissions keep rising drastically, as do the oceans and the usage of energy, deforestation, the endless calamity, artificial intelligence, terrifying technology, losing our grip of a decent democracy, front row seats to the end of humanity, addicted to plastic, staring at our phones, destroying a planet that we call home, a home that gave us so much beauty. Oh, baby. Thank you very much. I got a couple more songs. That last song was from an album that I put out a couple of years ago called The Inevitable Train Wreck, and the whole album was about what that song's about me sort of fearful about the future and climate destruction and collapse of society and all that. And you know, I put the album out into the world and I was like, what on earth am I doing putting that stuff out into the world? What use is that? So I've changed my tune a little bit. My new album's called Survival of the Friendliest, and it's about nothing but good things, basically. So try and spin it around a little bit. There's a song off that album called Humans. Talking to the trees, smiling at the moon, screaming from the rooftops on a Tuesday afternoon, standing in the rain, staring at the storm, riding into battle on a unicorn with a set of keys and a big imagination, a book to read and some good conversation, an old cheese sandwich in the bottom of my bag, a long road ahead and a lot to understand. Maybe that's what makes us human, the awe and wonder of it all. Maybe that's what makes us human. we're only human after all. We can be beautiful, we can be ugly. Carry the pebble to the peak of the mountain. Little did we know that it would topple it down, but that's what's happening now. Immortality, circular breath. Can't see the point in being scared about death. Can't see the point in being scared about living. Just doesn't stand to reason. Maybe that's what makes us human. The fact that we're so small. Maybe that's what makes us human. We're only human after all. They say technology will replace us and leave us like the dinosaurs that came before us. It's fascinating and kinda cool, knowing there's absolutely nothing you can do. But you can't stop the dreamers, can't sell the arts, the strong of mind or the pure of hearts. Just look around, we're driving ourselves mad. I don't want anything to do with that. Maybe that's what makes us human. The fact we want it all. Maybe that's what makes us human. We're only human after all. Thank you very much. I'm going to sing one more song for you, and for you people at home. I've been kind of ignoring the fact that we're playing to people at home because it's such a beautiful setting here, so I hope you've enjoyed it too. Yeah, thanks a lot. I've been Beans on Toast, and hopefully I'll see you next year at the actual event. Alright. And hopefully the Doves will come back next year as well. If I see him on the way, I'm going to take him in my van with me though. Let him out on the A303. So Boris is the king and Kia is the queen. It's almost like we're living in a world of make-believe. A double dose of dopamine on the daily diet. The politics are toxic. The country is divided by crippling austerity and deregulation, paving the path to privatization and to chlorinated chicken and weaponized 5G frequencies. It's profit over people, it's profit over everything that's causing global warming. It's now impossible to deny. There's a storm brewing, darling, and there's nowhere to hide. And every time the world needs saving, there's a nappy that needs changing. I got some bills that need paying. I'm just gonna keep on singing because life goes on. And on and on and on and on and on. Life goes on. So I take a step back, try to see things differently, cause there's also an opinion that in fact we're doing brilliantly. There's never been a safer time to be a human being. There's less war now than ever before, less disease and less famine. Obesity claims more lives than starvation. More people die of old age than from lack of medication. It's quite telling of the times, it's never been like this before. More people take their own lives now than die in wars. And obviously the world keeps changing, and different battles keep raging. My tomatoes need watering. I'm just gonna keep on singing because life goes on and on and on and on and on. life goes on. Yeah, life is ridiculous, it's also hilarious. It can be dangerous and sometimes even tedious, but it is resilient and it is beautiful, and I believe in it. Long may it continue, because life goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Life goes on. Thank you very much. I've been Beans on Toast. Respect.
Thank you, Beans on Toast. Wasn't that great? A great way to finish the music, although we've got one track to come at the end which we think is appropriate. But this wouldn't be possible without the help and support of so many people, a few of whom are up here, the elite core probably. But I'm not going to try and list everybody. That wouldn't be possible. But obviously, we want to thank all the volunteers who've made this possible, the sound crew, the people doing the stream. Thank our sponsors. Thank the staff. Thank the boss. She's just getting the train back to London, but it's great to see Frances O'Grady giving us so much support. Thanks to Hannah and Nick. Thanks to Innes and people like that behind the scenes who haven't been able to be with us but have done a cracking job keeping it all together. Hasn't entirely gone according to plan sometimes. Trying to put on a live streamed event in the middle of Dorset where the signal's a bit dodgy. Tested our will and technique and the powers of new technology, but I think we did give people a flavour of Tolpuddle. Not quite the real thing, and next year it will be the best one yet. How could I forget Tanya? I was leaving her till the end. Obviously the person who holds all this together is Tanya. She's probably hiding somewhere. Yes. Hannah, do you want to say anything? No?
You missed out the bar and barbecue staff that have kept us fed and watered, and I'm sure we've missed lots of other people as well, but really thank you to everyone that's kept it going. Thank you so much to the artists, because we've only had one or two, but the ones that have come have really brought the spirit of Tolpuddle to the weekend, so we appreciate that, and we hope we're going to see a lot more of you in the years to come. And of course, thank you to Nigel. And thank you all for joining us online. Remember that the great thing about us being online, although we can't be together, is that you can share this. You can share this with your friends, family, you can share it with people across the world. So you can enjoy this as much as you like, and there's plenty of things to enjoy from this weekend, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you very much, Hannah. So for those watching online, we're going to play a track from great West Country band Show of Hands, who are releasing a new song tomorrow about the future, but it really could easily be dedicated to next year. It's called The Best One Yet. We need days like this, like a shot in the arm. Looking forward to coming together where we can sing and dance and meet friends, make new ones. So it's, Hannah wants to...
Tim is not a giraffe.
I'm sure there was a bet involved in that. So Thanks to everybody. See you next year. It's going to be the best one yet.
So let's go.